welcome once again to
Pandemic Kitchen.
Yay!
Today's a special day.
What day is it?
It's Easter.
Sunday.
Yes.
Yes.
And we usually like to have a barbecue.
We're going to be making salsa. Salsa with TriTip.
Yum.
Ooh. What we do is we make our salsa on the barbecue. And so since we already have the barbecue going, we figure we might as well make a TriTip too. So today, you get a 2-for-1. Yay!
Cheers. Okay, folks. Here we are in the kitchen, and Bruce is out at the coals. He's getting the coals ready so we can make the salsa. And to make the salsa, these are the ingredients I have right in front of me. We've got 8 plum tomatoes, which we are going to cut in half. Then we've got 8 of these jalapenos we're going to cut in half and de-seed. 8 habaneros cut in half and de-seeded. 1 big, huge onion, as you can tell, and we're going to quarter that. And then 2 heads of garlic, and we're going to roast these in the oven. Meanwhile, while those are out on the coals and getting all browned and roasted, we are going to bring them back in, and we are going to use a bit of lemon, some cilantro, and some salt. And basically, that's it, folks. You've got your salsa, and it's nice and hot and delicious.
The barbecue setup here at Pandemic Kitchen is a little home-built thing that we did a few years ago, where we tend to use charcoal. We get mesquite very easily here in Southern California, especially in Latin markets. It's terrific stuff, gives it a wonderful flavor. But any hardwood charcoal should work just as well. We use a chimney starter because you don't need any chemicals, which tend to make the charcoal taste like chemicals. Use a couple of sheets of newspaper and put a teaspoon or so of some neutral oil on top of it. Helps it burn longer and helps it really get the fire started on the charcoal. It's a terrific setup. We love it, and I hope you do too. And on with the show. Barbecue filled with beautiful mesquite charcoal. I know some people use gas. What do they know? Oh, look at this. Here comes my lovely bride, Karla. Thank you, sweetie. Look at all this deliciousness. Okay, putting all the stuff on the barbecue. The tomatoes, I start down and then I flip them over quickly afterwards, and then I just take them off when they're boiling.
I'm making my French fries, my famous French fries. We don't really fry them, we put them in the oven. Okay, we cut them in nice, thick slice. We've got our 5 potatoes sliced, and now we're going to add some olive oil, garlic powder. Actually, it needs a little more. This bowl's a little small. Okay. Smoked paprika, if you can get your grubby paws on it. A little bit more olive oil. Lay this all on the cookie sheet. We spread it all out. Okay, add a little more of the. And we cover the potatoes with rosemary. Don't be shy with this stuff. Can't have too much rosemary. I have the oven at 350, but you can leave it in there at 350 for about 30 minutes, and then you can brown it for another 10 minutes or so at 400. We're going to pop this puppy in the oven. On the top rack. There you go.
Okay, just about ready to pull everything off. Notice that tomatoes are nice and squishy. We've added the habaneros. You don't want to leave the habaneros on too long. Ooh, look at that guy, that's beautiful. They're really thin skinned and they burn really fast, and they actually reduces the heat on them quite a bit when you cook them. Jalapenos a little less so. We put on some Thai chilies from our Thai basil chicken show that we had left over, and they're really cool because not only are as hot as habaneros, but they seem to explode when you put them on the barbecue, and suddenly there's like these little exploding chilies that are spitting ultra hot seeds at me every moment. Onions take the longest. You don't really need to cook them that much. You just need to get them so that they've got some black on them. Black adds a lot of the flavor. And a bunch of the habaneros have a nice little black singe on the back, which means they're ready to roll. As I said, you don't want to take too much time on the habaneros because you'll burn them really fast.
Perfect thing to do with a blender, especially one that had margaritas in it. There is absolutely nothing in a margarita which does not go well with salsa, so don't bother cleaning your blender if you made the margaritas in it first.
There it is.
Okay. The roasted Thai chilies that exploded on the barbecue, which is very cool. At least it was entertaining. The dog hated it. She's hiding. Put everything in the blender.
But we first have to
Just put everything in the blender first.
some of this
Oh yeah, a little cilantro.
in between.
A lot of cilantro. Fill your blender. Karla pre-squeezed a bunch of lemon juice earlier. We're not going to bother with the one lemon there. Yay! How much you adding?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
And some salt.
And enough salt.
Kosher salt. And hit on and mix.
Yep. Gradually speed it up. We always keep unsalted tortilla chips around so we can tell if they taste okay. If we taste the salted tortilla chips, it doesn't tell us if the salsa has not enough salt in it.
Oh my god.
Good one?
That's delicious.
Mmm.
This is actually a Santa Maria style barbecue. It's not like a Texas or Eastern or Southern barbecue at all. It's mostly a marinated piece of tri-tip, and a tri-tip is this weird cut that they decided to come up with in Santa Maria, California. So, oh, there she is. Ooh.
There you go.
It's a big fatty cut. We've been marinating it for quite some time in Bernstein's Italian dressing. It's our top secret. We got that from a guy named Jeff Adams, who is the master of the tri-tip in the Santa Barbara area, which is where we are. So, first we take this wonderful thing out. Ooh, lay it fat side down. That piece is going to cook quickly. And all the goodies that's been soaking in for the last few days, we're going to be able to keep adding as we turn it. We take our timer, set it for 5 minutes, and we flip it every 5 minutes until we have an internal temperature of about 121 degrees. It'll cook forever. Oh my God, the wolf is here. Hello, wolf. 4 minutes, 43 seconds from now, we'll do the first flip. Oh, I have it very low just to get the outer fat liquefied, sort of render out that fat fairly quickly. Anyway, isn't this a glorious piece of meat?
It looks amazing.
I've raised it up quite a bit. I added some additional coals because the ones we had were running out of gas. It's early spring here, and it's actually fairly chilly still, so the coals actually kind of get depleted a little faster because of that. So I tend to keep it a little lower in winter. Flare-ups, if you get a flare-up, it's a mesquite charcoal, and it just sort of flavors the meat a little bit better, so I worry about it a lot less than I would with some, but it's still a problem. So I've got it about 10 inches above right now. And now all I'm waiting for is chips and salsa and margaritas to show up, and I don't know where they are. And wait, and wait, and wait. Oh! Ah, the barmaid is here. Thank you, my dear. If you keep this up, I'm sure you'll end up with a nice thin dime sitting on your counter when you're done. Thank you. Oh, wait. 5 minutes. Must spin the meat. Add a little bit of secret sauce. I already gave you away the secret that Jeff Adams told me. And back. Fortunately, the sea breeze is blowing the smoke your way, not mine. Okay, maybe one more flip and it'll be done. Okay, it's been about an hour. It's gotten dark, in case you hadn't noticed. Hello. I have a new probe thermometer I'm checking out. Doesn't really feel that much done, and the probe thermometer tells me about the same thing, that it's probably not quite done. Usually want it to be like 120, 125 in the center, and it's some parts say it is, some parts say it isn't. I'm letting it sit for a little bit longer. Hopefully it doesn't get overcooked, but feels still a little squishy on the inside, so I'm going to let it go. Anyway, see how it goes.
Well, that black piece of meat just came off. Gets a lot of smoke from the mesquite, but it feels like on the inside it's pretty rare, which is how Karla likes it. I think it's ready to go. Gonna let it settle for about 5 minutes, and then let's see what happens. Feels just barely cooked, which is what you want from something like this. Moving it over here. Put a little pan down here just to make sure all that goodness doesn't go away.
Oh, so who's going to eat that?
I have no idea. Somebody's going to eat the juices. It could be us, or it could be...
Beastie!
I'm going to take my carving knife, gently touch it to the steel, even though I don't have a really good steel. I've got a bad steel, but it's going to be good enough. I'm going to get a meat sticker that I got at a thrift store like 12 million years ago. Put that way. And then we have to cut it across the bias, i.e. not the same direction as the grain, and as diagonally as we possibly can. I think that's about like that. And take a look at it. How's it look?
Oh, it looks fabulous.
So what lessons have we learned tonight from our foyer into TriTip and salsa? We have learned to cook all your vegetables thoroughly. We have learned to keep the middle of the tri-tip red for the people who prefer it that way, Karla, and keep the ends a little bit brown for the people who prefer it that way, me. And we have found that you put a pan underneath the drippings so that the people who prefer drippings, the noisy dog over here, will appreciate it even more. Thank you for joining us on our adventure through a large chunk of red meat. Thank you and good night.